Welcome to Beyond Wealth, Success Unscripted with Matt Calnan. Discover the personal drive, professional journeys, and business strategies that have made a real impact. It's success from the inside out.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we're chatting with Ali Asghari, a serial entrepreneur and finance expert with over 20 years of leadership experience. Ali has built a career filled with remarkable achievements, including successful business exits and a notable appearance on Dragon's Den. He's now focused on developing an AI-powered automation platform aimed at transforming manually operated commercial equipment into autonomous robots, helping industries tackle labor shortages and improve efficiency. So first of all, Ali, welcome to the show. And do you want to start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're working on?
Hi, Matt. Good morning. And hi to all your audience. Thanks for having me. Well, that's my background in a nutshell that you just said. But I would like
it's always funny. I find it's always funny we can try to sum up somebody's life in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. Imagine living a successful executive career, managing 3,500 employees across diverse industries, to start over in a new country, only to end up pitching a beverage idea on national television to some of Canada's most successful entrepreneurs. So that is my experience coming to Canada and starting this kind of a entrepreneurial experience here. So I really embraced the entrepreneurial spirits when I moved to Canada. Well, to talk about a little bit about myself, I was born in Iran and got my master's degree and taught at the university. Worked for Ernst & Young. By the way, my educational background is in finance and accounting. And I became a CPA in New Hampshire and States. But at age 29, I made a decision that would really reshape my entire life. Moving to Azerbaijan, the country of Azerbaijan, to become a country manager for a large business group. So in Azerbaijan, I had to adapt quickly, managing businesses ranging from hotels to steel manufacturing. Often in the industries I had no prior experience in such as construction. We did fabrication, oilfield services, scrap metal collection, as well as even farming and cheese production. The challenge was not just really about the business itself, but also building the trust and also the relationships in a new environment and new country. I moved to Canada in 2008, 2009. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and when I look back, I'm happy with the achievements that I had. So I'm happy to share some of that with today with you. So really, almost a decade, I was in Azerbaijan. So I faced another pivotal moment, which was a decision to come to Canada. So that meant starting over again. But this time as an entrepreneur in a completely new environment. What I did in Canada, as I said, I fully embraced the entrepreneurial spirit. So I co-founded a stationery company based in Toronto. And also I tried a venture related to oil and gas. in Alberta. So invested in retail, pitched a beverage idea on Dragon's Den, and shook hands with three of the dragons. I taught management accounting at SAID, combining my to say like the practical experience and the academic knowledge. So now, as you mentioned, since 2019, I have been working on a robotic project, developing an innovative and disruptive self-driving automation platform for commercial equipment. So which we called it bright autonomy. So so that is in a fast track coming to today. So yeah, let's take it from there.
Yeah, that's you may have the most diverse background out of anybody we've ever had on the show. We've had some people that have done a lot of stuff, but I don't think I've ever heard somebody do that many different things in that many different fields before. So that must give you kind of a wealth of knowledge and a well-rounded, I'll call it the real life education on top of the schooling that you have there.
Yeah, I was lucky. Life gave me that chance to gather that experience, and the people who trusted me with their
Yeah.
wealth to manage it for them. So yeah, I've been lucky, I would say.
So what's it like going on a journey like that? And would that be like 20, 30 years kind of thing? What is it like doing that and then having to go to new countries, whether it's, Azerbaijan or you said the US where you got your CPA, then to Canada. What's that like?
Well, the journey has taught me many things, like that success is about adaptability, continuous learning, what to say, and the courage really to reinvent yourself. So that is what has been happening in my past experience, whether it's managing diverse industries in Azerbaijan or developing autonomous robots in Canada. It doesn't matter. The key is to embrace challenges
Hmm.
and the new things that coming to you as opportunities for growth. Um, of course, along the way, you make mistakes, you fail, but that's where you learn. And so if you have embraced those opportunities, it doesn't mean that the success is guaranteed. So the life of an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. So you some days you are good and the news are coming in your way and makes you happy, but most of the days the reality is that are challenges. So you have to deal with them. You have to really use your experiences, or there are many cases that you haven't really gathered that experience yourself. Then you go to your mentors, you go to find coaches, you find people that can give you share their experiences with you, or they give you the some tips that this is how you do it. So learning from books, from videos, from everything. So these days is the internet is a university of internet. So like you can go and educate yourself on the things that you don't know, especially with new interactive AI, like the language models that is out there. So you can really improve your knowledge. But then what really comes handy, have you really dealt with that situation in a real life experience? So
Yeah.
that gives you a deeper understanding of the case. And that's why like the experience is more important than the knowledge. So you have to put it in test, and that's when it needs encouragement. Like that needs the courage as well. Like it's mainly is the courage that you have to put yourself in that situation. So to step outside your comfort zone every time.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned a couple things in there and talking about entrepreneurship being a roller coaster. And somebody many, many years ago said to me, the problem with being an entrepreneur is that if you knew what being an entrepreneur was like, nobody would ever be an entrepreneur except we're still driven to do that. And we sit here as entrepreneurs and we could go out and work for somebody else. And we don't have to do that. And we still do it because even though you take the punches and the blows, it's the passion behind it that really helps drive versus going and working that 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
You mentioned the reinventing yourself and that continual learning. But that's different when you go from a country like Azerbaijan into Canada. There's cultural differences, there's economical differences. So many things are different. So outside of that education, what are some of those challenges that you face when you enter a new platform, a new country?
Well, it's a cultural shift. You totally different people, different mindsets. Um, Even people drive differently on the streets. The food is different.
Better or worse drivers?
Well, I don't want to make my Azeri friends upset. um, uh, Nobody drives as good as they do in Calgary, like even compared to Toronto. um, well, but everything, like the way that people think, organizational culture, how you train people, how they take training, um, how people are educated at the university to come to the workspace. So all of that matters a lot in when you hire people to work with or to trust the job with. So and then dealing with that, managing people, and so as I mentioned, like the most important element that I found in this adaptability is building the trust and also learning and respecting the culture that you are joining to, and so instead of trying to criticize, because you go to a culture, to a place by your
Mm-hmm.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't invited you to come there as an auditor to tell them that this is wrong, this is
Yes. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You do your research, and then you do
Yeah.
your before going there, and so that's your choice to go to a new culture. So when
Yes.
you get there, so you found a lot of value, so now you want to embrace those and to make yourself to be part of it. But how do you do that? How? Because when you move from one place to another after about 10 years or 20 years,
Mhm.
you leave all your safety net behind. So now you're coming on a very hard ground if you fall. So, and there is nobody there. So how you build that network? You have to find people. You learn the legal system. You learn the taxing system. You learn basics. Where you shop, where you buy your car. Now you have three options: financing, cash, or the leasing the car. So it wasn't available where you moved it from. So how does that work? Which one is better? So all of these small things, but more importantly, when it comes to the business, so the businesses in each country is done differently. um, um, from the process of registration. Some places registration takes 2 hours. Some places takes 2 weeks for your company to be up and
Yeah.
running. So yeah, there are many elements when you look at it from the personal adoption to a place, from the cultural perspective. Of course, the language is a big item. So when you move to a new language, maybe you lose 75% of your intelligence
Mhm.
when you speak. You have to think now every word coming out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you compensate for that? So it is really, but gladly or thankfully, like to the situation or to the environment that Canada has created. It's very unique in many aspects. I have experienced in different cultures, different countries, but Canada is really offering a unique, um, uh, like the approach to this, uh, helping you to adapt as quick as possible and easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about all the shortcomings. It's a long list, but where it is not. So,
Yeah.
But it has been a very fruitful. It has been joyful process, and it has been. And I did go through the same when I moved to Azerbaijan. Like it is the same
Right.
thing. It's a totally different culture until you go there, and then always they look at you as a foreigner first.
Yes.
Every
Yeah.
system until you gain that trust that I'm like I'm I'm the same as your older friends, but you just started knowing me. So that is the only difference. So you
Yeah.
have to fill the gap as quick as possible. So
Yeah.
that gave me a good experience in being in Azerbaijan and then partially Europe and then US when it was easy to get that establishment and the settlement in Canada.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Shifting over to say your Dragon's Den experience, because I think that's somebody or something that everybody knows the show of, and especially on the entrepreneurial side. First of all, what was that like? And it was a beverage, right?
Yes,
If I remember correctly, was it an energy drink?
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not energy drink per se, but which part would you like to know about?
Well, let's hear that experience. I mean, what drove you to want to be on the show? What does that look like when they say yes, you're coming on? And then what's it like to go and make that pitch? And you had a deal out of that as well, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Well, it was around 2013 or so
Mhm.
that I didn't invent the product. So the product was out there. On a trip to Europe, landed in Frankfurt from Calgary, and a friend of mine came to pick me up. And we are driving on highway to go to Prague, and then he handed me this drink. So he says that Ali, you came at long flights. Why don't you try this? This is a new drink I've found in the store, and you might like it. I look at the can. It says tonic bitter, uh, pilot's friend, and so tonic bitter makes you fitter. And he says that this is a good drink, and it's gonna help with your jet lag. I drank it, and I immediately felt refreshed. And
Okay.
so, and then we are driving, and he said that like when it is colder, it feels better because it is fuzzy. And
Right.
so we stopped at a place, and then we got a cold one. I drank it, and I felt in love.
Hmm.
So it's a Sunday afternoon. I I'm looking at the can. There is a website on it, so I logged in on the website, and then there's a phone number. He's driving, so I'm called the number. Hello, I just tried your drink. Where can I find it in Calgary? So he says, excuse me, where is this Calgary? And I said, well, it's in Alberta, in Canada. So says, oh, yeah, I know where YYC is. I have flown through that city. I was looking for somewhere in Europe because we are not in North America. And I said that, well, I liked your product. So do you think, do you want me to see if there's a chance for your product in Canada? And he says, well, Ali, this is the first time you called, and Sunday afternoon, and I came to clean up my desk, and it happens that I'm the CEO of the company. Why don't we stay in touch and then see what unfolds?
Yeah.
The rest is the history. So I secured the right for exclusive distribution in North America, and I applied for FDA, CFIA's approval. They said, well, you have to categorize this drink as an energy drink or label it as an energy drink because it has some caffeine. I said, well, it has a lot of other things. It has 14 ingredients. Caffeine is one of them. It is very low. They said, it doesn't matter. We have this regulation in place. It has to be an energy drink. So we have to relabel it. So we have to rebrand it. So it was hard for the head office to accept it because in Europe it was made as an alternative for energy drinks.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, we did the relabeling, Pilot's Friend, organic energy drink, and so we started with the social media. So one day, somebody called. So by the way, I had applied for District Ventures Accelerator Program, which was ran by Arlene Dickinson in Calgary.
Mhm.
So that gave us some exposure. And one day, this lady from the Dragons Den, she called and said, "Hey, I just noticed you on your Twitter account, and I liked the video, and I liked the product profile. Are you interested in coming to Dragons Den?" I said, "Hell yes." uh, and says, "Okay." So, and we talked for a few minutes, and then she said, "Okay, I'm going to connect you with um, uh, director, and then it will be an interview." So, and then we jumped an interview. We spoke for I think about an hour, and then she said, "Well, we can pack and come to Toronto on Thursday morning," and this is Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, so 48 hours.
Yeah, and then I said, "But I'm in Calgary. Like, how am I gonna do it? I'm not ready for the pitch yet." Says, "Well, can you or cannot? Because that is the spot available, and it's one of the last recording for season 12." And I said, and quickly I went through my mind that what is it to lose? If I can't make it, I can't make it. I said,
Yeah.
"Yes, count on us." So 6 a.m. on Thursday at CBC, and so during that hour, so I had this partner of mine. So we together worked on the pitch. So you do the logistics, I prepare the pitch. So we practice on the airplane.
Yeah.
So
Probably over and over and over and over.
yeah, buy the tickets, book the hotel. So we make sure we manage to get there. The rest is we will handle it. But we did a lot. Like if you watch the video from the Dragons, then you will see that that's we're so proud of it, creating such content for in such a short time.
Yeah.
But when we arrived to Toronto, so then we got a message on the phone when we turned it on that we have extra 24 hours because it was delayed to Friday. So that gave us to create more like the material for the presentation.
Yeah.
And we end up shaking hand with three of the dragons. And so it was a good experience by itself again. So giving us a public exposure on a national TV. 7 minutes. If you wanted to book it as an advertisement, it would be quite costly, costly bill. And yeah, it helped a lot. So, but through the COVID, that business we faced a lot of troubles. Still, we're shipping it from across the Atlantic, so the shipping cost went to the roof. We had to pay 3.5 times more than usual. We couldn't increase the price of the thing, so the product delayed because of all the strikes and also the problem with the shipments. And so we ran out of product for a while in the market. So, and that we lost some of our, many of our, more than half of our clients during that period. So, but luckily we got interested party. So we were thinking like even the Europe, we had a lot of challenge the product. So at some point I purchased some shares from the headquarters. So to be in kind of have a say in the destiny of the distribution that we had here. So the whole process was a little bit of a challenge to keep it alive, but nonetheless we are working on it. But gladly, this interested party who wanted to buy the brand came forward, so that was a relief. But then, so that was a good timing because it came when the idea of robotics came forward.
Yeah.
My neighbor moved from Vancouver to Calgary in 2019 or 2018, 19. And so he moved just to the adjacent house that we were. And so being a good neighbor, we started chatting, talking. So I talked about my background. He talked about his software and the engineering background. And so then one day he shared this idea about the last mile delivery concept. So last mile means delivering from the local retail store to your home. So and so we built a robot which would deliver your grocery shoppings from local stores to your home. So we called it Robot Box.
Yes.
So that is by itself a disruptive solution. We still think that is the best solution in the market.
Mhm.
It's a box with hooks that you can hang 10 bags. It would drive. It is being loaded after fulfillment of your order. When you place order, let's say from Superstore,
Yeah.
they will put your bags in it. So from database and from the barcodes on the bags, each hook is known now which address they have to go to. So, and based on that, the path is optimized. This robot, which goes on the four wheels, so it would go on the bike lanes and the sidewalks. So you can imagine that it's a self-driving robot finding its way, going through the intersections, facing with all the variables of the people, the wheelchairs, bikes, pets, kids. So it has to navigate and then would come to your door. And if it is your address, there's an automatic unloading arm, reaches to your bag, picks it up, puts it on your doorstep, takes a picture of confirmation to your email, sends it, and then moves on to delivering the rest of the 9 bags. So this is the only solution of the last mile delivery that can deliver more than one order at a time. So
Yeah.
And all the orders will be delivered less than 2 hours. So we got good engagement in the highest level with the Loblaws and Sobeys, but the response time was slow. It meant that it is not a necessity for that space yet. So that's why we decided to do a pivot from that idea to use the same technology that we have been developing since 2019 into something into a space where there is a necessity and there is a need today.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then that brought us to golf industry. Or in general, to retrofitting the existing commercial equipment to work autonomously. So solving a labor problem.
Yes.
So across multiple industries, they are having difficult time finding reliable staff.
Yeah.
And so for that, and there is a shortage of it across multiple industries. But we decided to go to the landscape and then narrowed it down to specifically to golf industry as our initial market. Otherwise, our solution can have application in multiple industries. So what we do, this is their own equipment. So let's say we go to a golf course and they have a fairway mower machine.
Yeah.
So this is a machine agnostic and also the brand agnostic. So it doesn't matter who makes this machine and what the machine does. We add our retrofit or the automation components to the machine. So those are the cameras that we mount on the machine. And of course, we have a processing computer that goes on it. And also we connect it through our cables to the or to actuators.
Yeah.
So we actuate the steering wheel and the pedals of the equipment.
Mhm.
So that's what the driver does most of the time. So plus, for example, at this case of the mower, raising and lowering the blades, and so similar functions we can take over as well. So we take over whatever a driver does. So we remove the person from the seat, and by transitioning the machine into a robot, we let the machine to self-drive, do the job more precisely, more consistently, and more reliable and more safer. Because people sometimes they don't listen to the instructions you give them, but the machines won't do that. Machine will follow exactly the instructions you give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And they don't call in sick.
they don't call in sick. They don't come hungover neither.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's fascinating. Well, and I would think in those applications as well, when you can start doing things, I'll say outside of the regular hours, like on a golf course, I think they're out there pretty early in the morning, but you could start this at 9 p.m. after the last golfer's off the course, or at 4 a.m. or whatever that needs to be, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So we, in some places, there is a noise bylaw that limits
Right.
your operation hour. But if those machines, which is the trend, going to be like the electric machines,
Hmm.
then there will be no noise. So yes, in that case, they can work beyond like the any time.
Yeah, that's actually really fascinating that the pivot that you made into kind of all those the different industries and different applications. And I think we could probably have you back and just have a show talking specifically about what some of those applications are and what you guys are looking at for the future of all of that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Now I would love to. No, it has been a great experience. So for that, as a startup, technology startup, so it
Yeah.
happens to be the time that Alberta has a lot of appetite to
Mhm.
picture itself as the hub for the technology
Yeah.
in Canada
Yeah.
and be a player. Um, ours, our approach or our venture has a lot of legs. So it's a big vision. So it is a next level. As you can imagine, like the AI has a lot of applications, but
Yeah.
most of the applications you see stay at the software level. Everything happens in the cloud and all that. But you rarely or less so you come across the application of the AI in the physical world. So where you make big impact. So that is the vision that we have. So we revolutionize the way the work is done. And so by transforming those machines to work autonomously, it's a self-driving car, but in a different environment.
Yeah.
So wherever those environments are, like wherever there is a contained space, slow-moving equipment, and doing a repetitive job. So we can do that much better than a human does.
Yeah.
So it can be a landfill, it can be a construction site, it can be landscaping, ports, shipping yards, and mining, and so on. Um,
Yeah. So
it,
many
it-
different industries that you could touch with that.
that's right. So, but we love the initial market that we chose to work in, which is the golf industry,
Mhm.
and they love the idea and the fact. So there is an element of the human in the loop of our solution. So, as you might know that the um, full autonomy is not out there yet.
Mhm.
So, 100% autonomy means that machines should be able to consult every single situation, which is
Mhm.
not the case.
Mhm.
Neither the AI is trained that way, nor the infrastructure is out there. So, it will take some time, and that's why we didn't want to wait for the full autonomy to be available to offer this solution. Now we have incorporated a human intervention in the whole solution. It's we
Right.
combine the human intelligence with artificial intelligence. So 95, 96% of the cases, machine will follow the instructions received from the computer, which was defined by people, and then but there will be 4 or 5% of the cases machine doesn't know what to do, and in those cases machine will stop, and it's not stopping in a highway to be a danger, it's stopping on a golf course or stopping in the sidewalk in the previous project. So it is safe, and then asking for the instructions or the intervention by a
The
people.
intervention from the actual human.
And then we have built this teleport or teleoperation system. So that means that a person remotely can look at to the situation from the cameras, look at around the machine,
Mm.
and to figure out what the issue is, and if need be, so he can teleport himself to the machine wherever it is, and then physically drive it around the objects or move
Okay.
it to a safer spot wherever that is.
Yeah.
So um, that eliminates the need for hiring 5, 10 people to
Yeah.
drive 10 machines. So
Yeah.
one person can teleoperate and telesupervise 10 machines. So that many number of people will be needed less. So
Right.
it will be easier for the golf courses or other industries to find people of that quality.
Mm-hmm.
And so new generation have lesser appetite to wake up early in the morning. So previous generation, they were taking pride in waking before the sunrise, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. So
Well,
yeah, they love it. So it saves them cost. It saves them the HR like the challenges, while it gives them the consistency and the reliability of the work, and the enhances their performance.
yeah. Well, I mean, Ali, that really is truly fascinating. I do think we'll have to have you back on the show at some point to go into that a little bit more. But if somebody wanted to learn more about this or get in contact with you, where would they go for that?
Well, maybe the best place would be to connect on LinkedIn. So Ali Asghari at LinkedIn, if you look me up, or if you go bright-autonomy.com, that is our website. So you can leave a message there too. So to get in touch.
Great. Well, certainly appreciate having you on the show. Wish you all the best of luck. I'll keep my eyes out for some of your equipment running around the golf course up in Calgary there. And like I said, we'll have to have you back on it at some point and give us an update on what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. All right.
You've been listening to Beyond Wealth, Success Unscripted with Matt Calnan. Want to be our next guest? Visit beyondwealthpodcast.ca/guest. See you on the next episode.